Hello, hello, hello. How are you guys doing? I would say this evening, but I slept through the night again, and it is 6:23 a.m. and I went to bed last night. I think I went to bed at like 10:30. Yeah, I went to bed at 10:30. I was thinking about when I was sitting there because I had just finished watching Medea Boo 2, and I had gone and gotten some food from the grocery store. And I had just finished it, and I looked at the clock, and it was like 10:35 or something, and I went upstairs and I went to bed, and I told Alex I was going to lay down for an hour, and then I was going to go and vlog and listen to my audiobook, and I woke up. I didn't even wake up like a couple times throughout the night. I literally woke up at like 6:15, and I woke up because Pee-Pee had jumped down and was wanting to go outside, and Alex was sweet enough to get up and take the dogs out and stuff while I got dressed to come vlog. And I was like, oh my God, I slept through this the whole night. And now I'm awake. And I probably won't be able to fall back asleep when I get home. I'd like to fall back asleep for a couple hours, but I've got to figure out my schedule. I've got to start maybe vlogging throughout the day and then ending the vlog, you know, with like 20 minutes in the evening or something like that where I talk. At least a couple nights throughout the week, so I get like a normal sleep schedule, because my sleep schedule is so crazy right now. And I'm kind of enjoying going to bed earlier. The morning is so beautiful, you guys. I don't know if you can see it, but it is so pretty. I'm like driving over the bridge right now. You can't really see it because of the cars coming, but I just went and got a bottle of water at the gas station. I'm like dying of thirst. So when I come around this bend here, I'm gonna start drinking this water. But I had such a great day yesterday. Got up yesterday and we went to brunch. And we like walked into brunch and our friends were there. This couple that we're really good friends with, that we've been friends with for like 10 years. And they were there for their daughter's 20th birthday. It's crazy. But she had already left, and so they were there with another friend, and their friend was just leaving. So we sat down and they sat with us the whole time that we ate. So that was fun. We got to hang out with them and we had a great brunch. Okay, so I got to brunch today, you guys, and we have the same waitress. Well, I mean, there's a couple different waitresses that we have in there, but this one waitress that we absolutely adore. This is at Cafe Pas de Choux. So we get a Cafe Pas de Choux every Sunday. We love Cafe Pas de Choux. It's like our favorite breakfast place in the entire world, brunch place. And so our waitress brings over this note, and she was like, this young lady left this note for you last Sunday. And so I read this note, and it was from Alexis from Youngstown, Ohio. Hey Alexis, if you're watching, how are you, dear? And it said, you really are YouTube famous now, something like that, blah, 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 whatever. And she was like, I love watching your videos or something. I can't remember what the note said. I saved it, it's at home. And our waitress, I was like, oh, this was sweet. And our waitress was like, this young lady waited 2 hours for you. And I was like, what? And she was like, yeah, she got here at like 1. And I said, did she ask like if we come in here? She was like, yeah, she asked if if we ever see you. And I said, oh yeah, they always come in about between like 2 and 2:30. And she waited for like 2 hours, and like they have like a little lobby area like when you walk in there. She's like, she waited 2 hours for you. I said, are you kidding me? She goes, she was so sweet, Peter. And I think Alexis reached out to me. I need to look through my Instagram or my Twitter to see, because I think she reached out to me and said that she was visiting like her brother or a friend at IU in Bloomington, and so she drove up. I'm almost positive she sent me this message. And it's just so crazy and so surreal to me. So first of all, I just want to say, Alexis, I mean, I just was like, first of all, it was kind of like, my friends were like, I don't understand. Somebody like waited to meet, like people in my real life don't understand, like, they don't get YouTube at all, you know, that they don't even like, my real friends don't even understand that somebody would watch a video of mine, like, why they would watch a video of mine or anything like that. And they just don't understand the whole, like, concept of YouTube. And I just was kind of, like, sitting there stunned, and, like, I think Alex saw it on me, and it just meant so much to me. Well, first of all, I feel bad that anybody would drive the distance. So, first of all, Alexis, if you're watching this, and I said this on my Peter Mon channel too, reach out to me and email me on my business email, which is listed below. It's petermonbusiness@gmail.com. And if you're ever back over here again, or you want to drive back over, my husband and I will take you and whoever you bring out to brunch, because I think it's so sweet that you drove up there and waited to meet me. Like, that's just, it's unreal to me. You know, and I said this in my main channel, but I grew up with, you know, it's interesting because we were talking about in our book club today, we were talking about, like, how you grow up, like, affects who you are as an adult, you know. And, you know, I grew up with not anybody really liking me, and I didn't have a lot of friends, and if I did, I had maybe one friend here and there, you know. But I never really had a lot of close friends. I remember my mom getting so sad because I would come home from school and I would call up friends and I'd be like, you know, do you want to come over and play? And they would say, you know, and I always had friends that had, like, came from big families, and they would say, no, my mom said I can't today, I have to do this, or, you know, whatever. And I would literally sit there and call, like, 2 or 3 people, you know, and then and my mom would be like, well, come on, honey, we'll go do something. And I just was a real lonely kid. I was just real sad, and I remember being sad a lot as a kid, and you know, doing, like, a lot of, like, puppet shows, and I played a lot by myself because I would write plays and do puppet shows, and, you know, even my mom would just sit there and watch, like, you know, this one person puppet show or whatever, and she was very, she just was very, both my parents were engaging. They were great parents to have as an only child because they were both very involved and entertaining, so that I wasn't just alone and not doing anything, you know. And I think that really made a difference. But it's hard growing up and not having friends or a peer group, you know. And it doesn't take, you know, a 30-year-old genius to figure out when you're younger that people don't like you. And you don't really know why. Especially when what it was for me was, because I was this effeminate kid, that I wasn't even really aware that I was effeminate. You know, even my dad will tell stories and he'll say, like, you know, like, I knew Peter would probably be gay when he was older because, you know, my dad's very into the stereotypes, kind of. I mean, he's not as much today, but, you know, for a long time he was like, well, you know, Peter wasn't interested in this, and, you know, he wasn't interested in, like, playing with G.I. Joes. He was always interested in, like, you know, doing a doll's hair or something like that. And my dad never cared, you know. I mean, both my parents were so supportive of that. Although my mom, whenever I would want a doll, she'd always say, I just know it means you're going to be a good father someday. I'm like, okay, Mom. But anyway, you know, I just didn't really, and I think it was great that my parents were so supportive of my, you know, interests and what I liked, and they never, you know, made me feel ashamed for that or anything. But at the same time, then, that carried over, and I think because I was so allowed to be who I wanted to be, that I wasn't really aware of how I appeared to other kids, maybe. And so, you know, to other kids I was different. And different is scary to kids, you know? And so I didn't really know why kids didn't like me. I mean, I would say by 2nd or 3rd grade, the gay thing I got all the time. So I knew that. And I really think to some degree, you know, like when you're in college, I think it starts in like high school, college, around that area a little bit. And like, I don't know if it happens so much today, but it definitely happened in my generation, when like girls would have like a gay best friend, and they'd be like, you know, like my gay guy best friend or whatever. Who used to say it? I can't remember who's the celebrity that used to say it. Somebody would say like my gays or whatever. And I think a lot of people were really turned off by that, because it's like, I didn't go through all of this so that you can call me you're gay, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know, like this weird kind of ownership thing. And but I just always felt on the outside looking in, always. I still do. I still feel that way. I'd be lying if I said I didn't, you know? Not with Tanya, I don't. Not with my husband and his family. Not with my close friends like Melissa and Jason and Aaron and Eric. But very much in a lot of areas of my life, I feel on the outside looking in. I would say the difference is today I'm comfortable there, and I almost kind of enjoy it and embrace it. Like, I'd rather be on the outside and doing my own thing. Like, I do very well doing my own thing, and, you know, but I still feel on the outside looking in. And I think anybody that does that to somebody else is, I think that when I look at their motives of who they are, you know, I think, if somebody that would make somebody else feel that way, I wouldn't want to be close to them anyway. Like, I really wouldn't, you know? Somebody that would want to make somebody feel like an outsider, I wouldn't want anything to do with them anyway. I mean, I'm aware of that today. I'm very protective of my surroundings and my relationships. But, so I grew up, and, you know, like, I never... This water tastes so good. I never believed in myself. I never thought anybody wanted to be my friend. I think it's the reason that I sabotaged a lot of relationships early, you know, in my life. Why would you want to be with me? And I would even say things like that, especially when I was like drinking and using drugs and stuff. Like, if I got into these like really volatile fights with whoever I was dating, I would be like, why would you even want to be with me? You know, and then they would say, well, why would I want to be with you when you act, you know what I mean? It was a lot of that. And I don't think that, you know, it's interesting because one of my very dear friends from high school watches my vlog every day. She comments on my vlogs, she comments on my videos, and she literally watches I think everything that I do. You know who you are. And I would be surprised, like, if we got together and we're talking about, like, just specifically about the video stuff, if she would say, this Peter today is the Peter that I knew back then. Because the Peter in high school, with my close friends, was kind of crazy and different, but even then, like, was very careful. Is it out of focus? Come on, I hate when it does this. But even that Peter back then was very careful and, like, always worried that I was gonna be made fun of, or that I was always very aware of my surroundings. I wouldn't have got, you know, like, the idea that I would have gotten on video and, like, put a video out to the world, like, that just would never have been anywhere on my radar back then. I was way, way, way too careful. So then, you know, flash forward 30 years, and I'm going to brunch, and somebody has waited 2 hours just to meet me. Like, is literally surreal. Like, literally surreal to me, you know? And I said it on my drama channel today because I really wanted to get the message out to her. And somebody commented, I got this message from somebody, a direct message. I got several direct messages about what I said in that video, but I got this one direct message that was so nice. And she was like, I don't think you really have any idea the impact that you have on people. And I watch all your videos on a daily basis. And again, this person said something to the effect of, oh, I was going to remember their name. But like how much I had like changed their life. And it's sometimes a little overwhelming, honestly, to read comments like that. Like I don't sometimes really know what to do with those comments. And I think that, you know, I think it's because, I don't know, maybe I still don't believe those things about myself. You know, confidence is a tricky thing. I guess I still don't believe those things about myself. And so when other people say them about me, I have a hard time with that. I wish I believed in myself more. I wish it was so funny because I just drove by this building and said, there was a sign out front that said, just be kind. I wish I believed in myself more, you know? I wish I didn't question why people liked me and things like that. I don't know, I think at this point maybe that's kind of just who I'll be in my life, and I've gotten used to that. I've worked really hard on a lot of things about, like, you know, I would say I am a lot less self-deprecating than I used to be. I don't put myself down as much as I used to. It's one of the things I've really worked on in the last year. I really believe that if you don't believe in yourself, nobody else will either. So you have to believe in yourself, and I do believe in myself. I will say that's changed a lot. But you know, like when like somebody walks into a room and they just own a room and they're like that confident. Like, I just really wish that I could be that confident. I don't even think I have that kind of false confidence, you know? You know, my old sponsor used to say to me, when you walk into a room, you hold your head up high because today you are a person of character. And character and confidence are two different things to me, you know? I think it's something I'll always work on. I think, you know, I remember my old supervisor, we would have like girls get into fights with each other. And so she used to do this exercise, and she would take a piece of wood, and then she would take like a hammer and a nail, and she would, so the words that the girls were calling each other, she would take them and she would say them out loud. And like with each, you know, hammer of the nail, she would say the word, the horrible word, right? And then at the end, she would have the girls take the nail out of the wood. And she would say, now fill that wood up and make it whole again. And the girls would look at her and they'd be like, what do you mean? And she'd be like, make it exactly how it was before. And I always thought this was such a great exercise. And the girls would just look at her like she was crazy, you know? And she'd say, you know, you can fill this up with sand, you can fill it up with paper, you can fill it up with glue, and you can kind of make it back what it was again, but it will never be exactly what it was before. The battery's about to die. Oh, thank God I brought another battery with me. But she said it will never be exactly what it was before again, because it's been forever changed. And she was like, this is what happens when you put other people down and you use this kind of language with them, you know, is that it breaks them down, and you can't ever make them whole again. And, you know, I think about the fact that for 12 years of my life, even more than that, you know, I mean, it still happens to me when I go into a gas station, or, you know, it doesn't really bother me. The thing is, that one thing that's really interesting is it doesn't really bother me in comments on videos when people say stuff like about my voice or how I act or whatever. I think because of like all the criticisms that I could receive, it seems like the easiest one to criticize somebody about. So it's just kind of like, if you don't like me, if your go-to is to say something about my voice, like somebody will say something, you know, about, you know, somebody will say something about my voice or my mannerisms or whatever. I'm like, well, that's a pretty easy go-to, you know what I mean? So that doesn't really bother me. It doesn't really bother me like if it happens in a gas station or a restaurant or something like that either anymore today. I'm like, I don't know, when an adult does it to me, I'm like, that's pretty petty. But you know, when it happens to you that much in your life, it's like at some point, this is like this pancake place I've always wanted to go to. I should go in here and get pancakes. It's like at some point in your life, it just like, you can never fill up that hole in the wood again. You know what I mean? It's just, it's there forever, I think. Please let me have brought this battery. I did bring it. All right, hold on a second. Okay, I'm back. So yeah. So that just totally made my day. Alex is always a little bit like less shocked than I am about that stuff. He's always like, he was like, that is so sweet, Peter, that somebody would drive and wait for you. I'm like, I know, it's incredible. I can't even believe it. He's always so funny when we meet somebody in public too. He's like, would you like to get a picture with Peter or something? They're always like, oh yeah. I never think like anybody would want a picture with me. Why, you know? Look at all these people working out this morning. This place is called The Healthies. What is this place? Is it a restaurant or what? No. Oh, it's like smoothies or something. It's like smoothies. I could use a smoothie. I really could use a smoothie. That does sound good. I actually didn't eat too unhealthy last night when I went to go get food. I got like hummus and stuff like that. But then I got home and I was watching that Boo 2. I finally finished it. It's actually a funny movie. And I had like 20 minutes left of it or half an hour left of it or something like that. So I was sitting there watching it. And I couldn't even really eat that much of it. I wasn't that hungry. Oh, I might have a little bit of hummus before when I get home if I go back to bed. But so yeah, we got up today. We went to brunch and we sat there with our friends. That was really fun. And I had the California Dreamer, which is this great omelet that has like peppers and stuff in it, and it's really good. And then crispy potatoes and cinnamon toast. And then I came home. Oh, no. Then I came home and I brought Alex home because he was going to like feed the dogs and stuff. Because I had my live stream at 4 and it was like 3 o'clock. And then I ran to Ulta. I was like talking to my friends on the phone and stuff. I ran to Ulta because I wanted to see if they had an advent calendar. Because I know there's like a lot of these like beauty advent calendars that came out. So I ran to Ulta and I bought like 2 of these advent calendars. And 2 candles. They had we're having a sale on candles too. And I did a review of that on my review channel. And then what else did I buy? Well, I bought some other stuff to review, some other fun stuff. And then, oh man, I can't even think. What else did I buy there? I bought something else there. Oh, I bought this lotion and this lip balm. It was like this hemp brand that I used to use back in the day. And then I used to use it a lot when I was like out in the sun. Morning is so pretty this morning. And then I came home and I did the live stream for the book club. We covered the Iceman Confessions, which I did not finish. Oh, there's like a train. It's just like stuck on the track. It's going so slow. I didn't even realize it. Look, it's the train. And it's like going so slow. It seems like it's going faster because I'm moving the opposite direction, but. So I had the live stream. It was a really good live stream. Now for the month of November, we are reading Dope Sick by Beth Macy. And it's about the opioid crisis in the United States and America. And it's supposed to be fantastic. I've heard really good things about it. People are trying to get through and they can't get through because the train is there. And I have a feeling that's going to be the same thing that happens to me when I'm trying to get up here. And then after the live stream, what did I do after the live stream? I talked to Mel on the phone for a little bit. And then I filmed a video on my Peter Munn channel, and then I filmed a video on I filmed my review video first, and then my Peter Munn video. And then I filmed a Peterisms video, and I deleted it by accident. I don't know what happened. Oh no, the train already passed by, good. So then I was just like, at that point, it was late. It was like almost 8 o'clock, and I was just like, I wanted to relax a little bit. So I was getting those videos up, and then I was like, oh my god, I have to do like all the bills, because the bills are like for the month. I have them set to be due on the 3rd. So I had to go do all the bills for the month. So I did all the bills, and you know what sounds really good as a Dr. Pepper? It was so funny. Somebody commented on my video yesterday. I don't know which one of you it was, but it was like, oh, Peter said I'm thirsty for Dr. Pepper. Now I am thirsty for Dr. Pepper, though. That sounds good. So I did all that, and then that's when I went to the grocery store. And then it was like late. It was like 9:30 or something. I was gonna go to Meijer, but instead I just went to the grocery store up the street. And I got hummus. Oh, I got potato salad too. I hardly ate anything. I just was like, this is stupid. And Alex was like, well, you'll have it for tomorrow. I was like, I know, but I'm trying to like maybe eat a little bit better tomorrow. Lay down, and that was my day. God, this traffic in the morning, like at 6:50. As much as I like want to structure my schedule, and I know it's so crazy to people that I have this like crazy off the wall schedule, which totally like I've always been a night owl. But I would like to, I think, maybe at least a couple nights a week start going to bed earlier and just like having everything done so I don't like wake up and go, oh my god, you know. You know what I mean? But as much as I like am a night owl and maybe would like to have a couple structured nights of the week, I don't miss working this kind of schedule, like, at all. Like, I don't miss this at all. And what's so weird is that there was so much of my life that I really enjoyed, like, sitting down and, you know, like, I mean, my God, I was at work. I worked 7 to 3 for a lot of, like, in my early career, and 8 to 4. I had a shift, so I was first shift, so I would go back, you know, between 7 to 3 and 8 to 4, depending on the day. But then, you know, after that, when I got my master's degree, and before that, when I was like a supervisor and things like that, I worked 8 to 4:30 a lot of days. So I was up, like right now I would have been getting up. And I mean, got up, took a shower. I had always, the night before, in my old apartment, I had this ironing board. I was just like, where did I keep that ironing board? I just remembered we had this like washer and dryer that like opened, you know, it's like one of those things that opens, and we would keep it in the side by the washing machine. But I think that's where I kept it. So anyway, I would like iron my clothes for the next day out. Like I would leave them out and I would iron them for the next day right there. And every day, like khakis from Abercrombie or Old Navy, and then like a polo shirt, and I would have my entire outfit, and I would like have it folded, and then like on top of my shoes in the bedroom, and I would like, and I wore these, I wore these, God, I forgot about these Skechers like clog kind of things. Oh, they were so comfortable. And then I wore Birkenstock clogs for a long time, and I would have all that stuff laid out. And I think I even wore Birkenstock sandals to work for a long time. I do remember, like, at some point the hospital changed rules and you couldn't wear open-toed shoes. But I would like, so my clothes were always ready the night before, and then I would have them like laid out and just like ready to go. And I would get up and I would take a shower. I would go in and I would make a pot of coffee. I would have the pot of coffee ready the night before. It just seems so strange to me. I live this life. Like, it just, I don't know, it's so surreal to me. And I would have a pot of coffee ready, and I would go in and I would like start it, and then I would, you know, go in and I would like shave and take a shower. This was before Peter had a beard. I had no beard. You know, I would shave and take a shower. I shaved every single day. And my beard grows really fast, so I would shave every day. And then I would shave and take a shower, and then after I got out of the shower, back then my hair, like, it's totally changed. Like, well, this is so pretty, isn't it? But back in the day, my hair, I would get out of the shower and I didn't even have to blow dry it. It just stood straight up, and I had a faux hawk, so it would just dry naturally. And I would go get a cup of coffee while I was getting dressed, and then I would come back in and I would put lotion on and get ready and all that kind of stuff. I used to wear this cologne. Well, for a long time I wore the cologne, Michael Kors for Men, which I still wear, but they've discontinued it. And the last bottle that I bought was so old or watered down or something. I got it from like that one website, overstock.com. It was bad. It's like, whenever I wear it, like, you can't even smell that I have it on. It was a waste of money. It makes me so sad. It was one of my favorite colognes ever. They discontinued it, but it wasn't the blue Michael Kors. It wasn't, because there's one that like the liquid is blue. This was one where the liquid was like gold, and it was a black cap. And my mom got me started on it years ago. So, or I would wear Woodland from Bath and Body Works. I wore that for forever. And, you know, I would get ready, and then I would, like, I felt like I stopped at the gas station and got a cup of coffee. Like, I think sometimes maybe I took my own cup, but I think most of the time, because I would come home and the coffee that I had in the coffee pot, I don't remember my ex being a coffee drinker either. I don't think he was a coffee drinker. I don't even remember. Isn't it funny, like, those small things that you don't, you know, remember, like, about people. Like, Alex doesn't use, like, ketchup on his french fries. Like, it'd be something like that that, you know, you don't remember down the road. You know what I mean? Sometimes he does, but very rarely does Alex, like, ketchup on his french fries or anything else. So I would go to the gas station and I would get a cup of coffee and the crossword. I literally, you guys, I did the crossword. I'm gonna get the crossword today. I literally got the crossword every single day and did it. Every single day. We used to have a clinical meeting every morning. It was at 9 o'clock. It was like 9, I think it was at 9 o'clock. We would have a clinical meeting where we would go through like each of the new patients. We'd go through each of the patients, the new patients, all that kind of stuff. And I would sit in there, and I always sat next to my position. I sat on one side of my supervisor, and the other counselor that was in my position on the other side, she would sit on the other side of the counselor, because we would like present, you know, whatever first. And so we would sit there, and I would have like my, so I always kept a notebook. I'm like super organized. I know that it's probably hard for people to believe, but I am. Like, I'm super weirdly organized. And I always have like 5 notebooks, and each notebook is dedicated to something else and whatever. So back in the day, I kept one of those legal pads. I always had, I need to get another. I love legal pads. I know it sounds like something weird to say, but I do. I love like those legal pads, you know what I mean? And I would keep these legal pads, and then like I would write down like everything that I had to do. And you know, like I would have like somebody's name and then like, you know, whatever, call probation officer, call judge or whatever. And then when I did it, I would like cross it out. But I would have everything that I had to do like listed on this thing. I was like extremely organized. But then I always had like on top of it, like the crossword puzzle. And so I would be like doing the crossword puzzle like while we were sitting there listening. And my supervisor would be like, could you put the crossword puzzle down for just a second? I'm like, yeah. Back in the day, my friend and I, he lives in Denver now, my friend in Denver that I used to go visit, he and I would do it, and then we would call each other on the phone, like, towards the end. It's really easy to do, like, the local paper one, because it's usually written by the same person, and so, over, like, if you've done it enough, they start doing, like, the same words over and over and over again. So it's like, you know, I just got behind a school bus, so this will be real fun. It'll be stop and go for the next half an hour. But it's not hard because, if I turn this off, will you be able to see me? Yeah. It's not hard because, like, some of the words repeat themselves, you know what I mean? So you're kind of used to the same words, like, over and over and over again. Like, they use the same clues. But it was fun, and I think, like, I'm a believer, like, I know this is crazy, but doing the crossword, like, keeps your mind on its toes a little bit. Like, I think it keeps, like, your neurons firing. I think any of those games, like Sudoku, you know, anything like that, I think, kind of keeps you sharper. But anyway, you know, it just seems weird to me that, like, I would be up, and I mean, I know it's not weird to anybody else because all of you like have normal lives, but I guess my life isn't abnormal, it's just different, you know? Different doesn't mean worse, it just means different. But, you know, back in the day, I just, like, it's so weird to me that I used to be up at this time. I mean, I don't even remember what time I used to go to bed to get up at that time either. Like, that's the thing. Like, I must have gone to bed somewhat early because I'm someone that's always needed my sleep. So but I don't know what time I would have gone to bed. I don't remember. I know I didn't go to bed at like 10 o'clock. I've never been somebody that's been like, well, I mean, I guess I did last night, right? 10:30. You know, but I've never been somebody that was like in bed and asleep by like 9 or 10. Like, I've never been that person. So I don't know. I think I probably was going to bed around 12. And then, I mean, getting up at 7:30. Getting 7 hours of sleep. It's not horrible, you know? It's weird, though. I used to do that. But I did take naps when I would come home. It doesn't really matter if the light is on or off, but it's like going in and out. I don't know why. But I would take a nap every day that I came home from work. I would take a nap. Maybe I just didn't sleep as much back then, too. I don't know. You know, the other thing is, like, my life looks so completely different with, like, the videos, too. It's like, you know, today we got done with brunch at 3, and I dropped Alex off. And then it was, like, 3 to 4. I was getting stuff for videos and getting that all ready. Why is the light doing this? It's so weird. I'm just going to leave the light on. And then, you know, from 4 to 5 something, I did the live stream. And then, you know, I made videos. I talked to my friend on the phone for a little bit, Mel, for a little bit on the phone. But really, from like 3 to like 9, I didn't stop today. You know, I was like videos, uploading videos, rendering videos, getting all this stuff done. My vlog last night, because it was 2 hours long, took me forever to upload today. You know, it was like all of that. I didn't have that back then. You know, on top of like reading books, listening to audiobooks and whatever. I mean, I would read a book. Like in the evening, I would get like a James Patterson book or something to read. But I didn't listen to audiobooks back then. I listened to tapes sometimes, but like more if we like went on a vacation or something, like a road trip. So my life looks so completely different. You know, today, there's not a day that goes by that I don't dedicate 5 to 8, 9 hours on something to do with YouTube. And I know it doesn't probably seem like that to people because they're like, you don't edit your videos and stuff, but between like having to like buy the stuff, you know, if I'm going to review something in my video or figure out where I'm going to go or when I'm going to do it, or you know, between all of that and then like everything else, it takes me, I would say, and I think I didn't even recognize it for a while, how long it took me actually, you know. And I love it. I mean, I love everything about it, but I dedicate a lot of time and energy to YouTube, you know. It's something that I really, really enjoy doing, and I mean, it's the majority of my life these days, so, but it's always hard for me when I go on vacation, because if I take a couple days off from, this is one of my favorite houses right here. I think it's so pretty. But anyway, it's like this Cape Cod that looks over the lake. But if I take a couple days off and I don't post videos like I regularly do, and I get like out of the, what do you call it? Out of the schedule of posting videos regularly, it always kind of, like, it's hard for me to get back in the groove of it. Which is like when I go on, when I go on vacation, I like to continue to post videos. And you know, the thing that was hard before was that, like, when I would go on vacation, I just would always post my vlog video, and then like if drama happened, I would post my drama videos. But now I like to do the review videos too, so. But I will say that the new thing that's fun to do is like when we're like out of town, going somewhere that, like I already know one place that, we're going to Miami this weekend, I already know one place that I want to review. Because there's a sandwich place that I absolutely love, and I just want to bring some attention to it because I think it deserves it. It's called the La Sandwichery or something like that. It's so fantastic. It's like one of the best sandwich shops in the entire world. So anyway, but there's always like 9 million people there, and I don't, it's like, I'm still weird around sometimes I'm weird about it, like filming in public, but I'm ready to go to Miami this weekend. I'm excited about it. So I'm gonna find some different things to review, and while we're down there. That was fun in San Diego. It was like doing that coffee shop and whatever, like that was kind of fun. And in Las Vegas, doing like the buffet. I mean, I'm not gonna do like different reviews every single day, but I'll probably do a couple, you know, at least one or two, but we're only down there for a couple days, so it's not gonna really matter. I'm excited. And we're staying in a new hotel. We're staying somewhere we've never stayed before. And that's always fun for me too, you know, to do all that. Oh, there's construction through here. I forgot. Is it still closed off? Shirley, and don't call me Shirley with all of this. It can't be so closed off. I want a Dr. Pepper. I'm gonna go through McDonald's and get a Dr. Pepper. But it just seems like a different world, you know? And I think like, one of the things that's weird, I was actually talking about this on my Peterism's channel yesterday, that you know, we go through these transitions in our lives, these changes, where we change, you know, drastically change the direction of our life and who we are and things like that. And I don't think, like, when I look back on my life, like, I was like, I don't think I was any more or less happy or less happy then. It just was a different part of my life. I don't think, and I think I knew this from an early point, that I could have done that for the next 30 years, like that schedule and that life. Like I was never really made for that. And I think it was important for me. Look at the sky. Isn't that so pretty? So pretty. I just, you know, like, I think it was really important for me for a long time to, it's gonna, I see it, stop it, hold on a second. Okay. This stupid thing's always, I think it was really important for me for a long time to kind of keep up with the Joneses and have like that job that No, thank you. Can I get a large Dr. Pepper, please?
Anything else?
Nope, that's it.
Well, thank you.
Get the feedback on that. I think it was important for me to prove to myself that I could do it, you know? That I could have a, you know, like, I think it was important for me to catch up and get my master's degree and have a job that was important to me. It was something that I really felt passionate about, you know, working in addictions. And I'm really proud of myself that I did that. You know, it was a huge part of my life. But when my life changed and I wanted to do something different, I mean, obviously I didn't see that YouTube would be my future because YouTube didn't exist at the time, right? I really thought it would be something creative, though. I did. I thought, like, I would either be writing full-time or I thought I would be writing on a magazine. One of the things I had always kind of dreamed of was that I would be a travel writer for, like, Condé Nast, you know, Traveler or something like that. That was a dream of mine. I still like to do something like that. Or that I would, I was like helping a friend of mine the other day with like writing something, and like we were like talking on the phone, and so she was, you know, like, well, I wanted to say this and this, and I said, let me just write it out like a rough draft, like this paragraph, and then read it back to you, and you tell me what you like or don't like about it. I've done this a lot for people. Like I like helping people with their writing, and so like I wrote it out and whatever, and she was like, she was just kind of silent. I was like, do you not like it? And she was like, you really can write. And I was like, thank you. Like, it was like such a nice compliment. It was so sincere. And I love writing, you know? I thought, though, that like maybe that's what I would be doing. That at this point, you know, that, I mean, I wasn't stupid. I knew that I couldn't financially support myself fully by writing, you know? So, I knew that I would be, you know, that's why it was important for me to like save money and whatever. But is this not a quarter? Is this like, don't you hate when you get some like weird coin? Do you know what I mean by a weird coin? You know what I mean, like some coin that they don't take today or whatever.
Hello, lots of Dr. Pepper.
Yep. How are you?
I'm fine.
I don't need the change, thank you.
Thank you.
Weird coin. You know, like some, I don't know. Did your mom ever give you $2 bills? My mother used to always give me $2 bills back in the day because they're supposed to be good luck. But it's like then you never want to use them. And like people are really weird when you like try to spend them too. Like, why are you giving me, it's not even real cash, but it really is real cash, you know, but it isn't really real cash. I don't know. It's so weird. Oh man. This person just got a fountain pop in front of me too. Hello, thank you. Yeah, but I thought I would be doing something, I don't know, like working for a magazine, maybe freelance, or freelance, or that, freelance, or I would be, you know, writing books or whatever. Like that was always my dream. You know, I don't know. I didn't know what I was going to do, but I thought it would be something creative. I knew I wouldn't be doing what I was doing until, you know, I did have this idea that maybe I would, you know, work there in some capacity. You know, like, I don't know. I was ready to go, though. I just saw this coworker of mine at Aaron's Halloween party the other day, and I forgot, like, oh my god, there's a Smoothie King right there. I forgot, like, really, you know, like, I have been gone from there almost as long as I worked there. Like, I think in January I will have been gone there as long as I worked there, I think. Well, no, because my hire date would have been in May, so it'll be in May. That's crazy to me, you know? Because it seemed like I was there forever. Anyway, different world. But then it also makes me wonder, like when I think about transitions and stuff, so what's the next transition of my life going to be like? You know, when YouTube isn't something that I'm doing like all the time, will there be a day that YouTube isn't what I'm doing all the time? Or will it be some other, you know, venture in my life that I'm doing? Or, you know, I don't know. Like, it's weird. I think about moving to Florida, you know, or like getting a place in Florida, and that will be another transition, you know. I got really sad last night when we were laying in bed. I said to Alex, I don't really usually tell Alex these kinds of things. And I said, the dogs were being super sweet last night. And Pee-Pee was like laying up in Alex's neck. And I said, sometimes I just wish time would stop. You know, I say it on here, but like I don't say that to him a lot. I said, sometimes I just wish time would stop. And he said, what do you mean by that? And I was explaining it to him, like, you know, sometimes I just wish time would stop right here with the three of us, and or the four of us, you know, the three dogs, two of us and the three dogs. I just wish time would stop. And I embrace change and I embrace the transitions of life, but I don't necessarily like what goes along with them, you know, that means that there will be a day that Pee-Pee, Boo, and Tucker are no longer, you know, with us. I even think about that, like, with my ex, like, you know, when things were good, and there was a long time when things were good, you know, and I think about that I would never have in a million years guessed that we wouldn't be together, you know what I mean, like, at certain points in our relationship. So I look at that and I think, you know, every day I say how grateful I am for my marriage, because who knows, you know, that down the road, I hate thinking that, but you never know what could happen, you know? I honestly thought I was gonna get on here tonight, or today, and vlog for like 20 minutes, because I was like, well, last night I vlogged for 2 hours, and I got up so late, but ringing like that. I was just thinking, like, so I was hearing this ringing. Can you hear that? It's because my volume's turned all the way up and I don't have like the aux cord in or anything. Do you hear that? But I guess this isn't really an age thing, but for me, I think of it as an age thing because I didn't really do it until I was older. But when that breakfast place over there is supposed to be really good, Tanya loves it. Oh my god, this Jaguar SUV. I have a friend of mine that really wants to get this car, and it's in front of me. It is pretty. I just feel like if you're gonna get a Jaguar, why would you get a Jaguar SUV? But I like Porsche Cayennes, so I don't know. I'll never own a car like that, so it doesn't really matter. And I'm very happy with my car. I have a beautiful car. But like as you get older, like whenever you hear like something like that, like ringing, do you hear that? You probably can't hear it. But it's like, you don't even, like, your first go-to isn't like, oh, it's the radio. It's like, oh, like, is something wrong with me? And then you get on like WebMD, or like you Google, like you hear ringing, you hear, you know, a bell ringing or buzzing or something like that, and then it'll say, typically with buzzing, you know, you're gonna be dead, and you know, it's just like, give me a break. But like as you get older, I don't know if you're like me, but you'll start like every symptom, you go to like you go Google it, right? And you're like, tell me what horrible disease I have. It's like with every little symptom, it's like, you know, it's like you wake up and maybe you slept with your arm like this and you'll wake up and your whole arm will be like numb, and you'll like Google symptoms, arm numb, and it'll say all this stuff, and you don't even think about the fact that like you slept on your arm this way, right? Even though you wake up and you're like, oh, I slept on my arm wrong. Oh, my arm's numb. What is that? Oh my Lord, you know, like I think that's a sign of getting older doing that. I didn't do that when I was younger. I just would be like, shake it off, you know? These people out here running in the morning are definitely more motivated than I am. I have got to get with the program. Peter, you need to get with the program. That Dr. Pepper tastes so good. You need to get with the health program. That Dr. Pepper tastes so good. It does, though. I need to pitch my pumpkin and my mums. My pumpkin is probably mush at this point, and my mums are dead. They were beautiful when I first bought them. They didn't last very long. I am gonna get like a little pine tree out for the front yard, and I'm gonna get some lights to put on it. Don't you think that'll, not for the front yard, but for the front porch? I think that'll be real pretty to put those out there. What else can I put on my front porch for Christmas? We have like those reindeer that you like can plug in and stuff like that. We don't ever use them though. The leaves are still so pretty, can you see? I really like driving in silence. It's like something that in the last year I've really like learned to love, and just kind of think about things and just kind of observe the world around me, you know? And just like not listen to an audiobook or some music. I mean, I love listening to music and I love listening to audiobooks, but sometimes I like just taking it all in, you know? And just being aware of everything around me. And being really, really still. It's pretty. Think about how long some of these trees have been here, you know, it's crazy. Today's gonna be a good day. Today is going to be a good day. I have to go over to my mother-in-law's tonight and help her with like this video thing. We were gonna do it tonight, well, whatever the vlog, if this is vlog is supposed to be, we were gonna do it, but I honestly just wanted to kind of relax, and then I didn't even end up doing that because I ended up doing all this YouTube stuff. But I texted her and I said, can we do it tomorrow night? And she was like, yeah, because I'm still not, she wasn't even home yet. She was like, I'm still out, so no problem. So I'm gonna go over there tonight. I don't know if Alex is gonna go over or not, but we're gonna get that stuff done. Somebody was telling me, oh, our friend, my mom and aunt's friend in the neighborhood was telling me that it's supposed to be a really mild winter this year. And I was like, really? Because it's so cold so early. I said, I think it's going to be, I mean, it's 41, which doesn't sound like super cold, but for Indiana, like the 1st of November, I mean, we still have some really warm days in November, like 70, 80 days in November we've had in the past, I think. Like really, we've had warm days, 60s, 70s maybe, I don't know. But anyway, and she was like, well, I heard we're supposed to have a really mild winter this year. I don't feel that. I feel like we're gonna have a really hard winter this year. That's what my gut is telling me. Let's see. I don't mind either way, honestly. I don't know what it is about the fountain soda at McDonald's that makes it so much better. But it really does taste good. The Diet Coke and the Dr. Pepper taste so good there. All right, you guys, well, listen, because I'm getting ready to turn here and then turn around in the gas station. When I turn left, I'm gonna get off here. So I hope you guys are having an amazing Monday, unless you have other plans. But like I always say, do not have other plans. Enjoy your day, make the most of it, do something fun today. You're exchanging a day of your life for it. Life is not a dress rehearsal. Remember that. And if nobody else has told you this today, I love you. Make sure that you look at yourself in the mirror every single day and say, I love you, you are important, you are valuable, and believe it in your heart. And most importantly, make sure that you pass it on to somebody else and let them know how important they are to you. And, you know, just call them up, write them a little note card and say, you mean a lot to me. And yeah, that's it. I love you guys, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye. Love ya. Hello, hello, hello. How are you guys doing tonight? Well, I did it again. I slept straight through the night. It is currently 6:08 a.m. on Saturday. So this is Friday's vlog. But I feel really rested. So the reason why it's a problem is not so much that I'm getting up at 6 a.m. and filming my vlog, which I'm sure is strange to a lot of people, but it's not strange to me. Actually, I saw my neighbor yesterday, my new neighbor that moved in. She was like, you have kind of crazy hours. And I said, yeah. And she knew that I like make videos for YouTube. And I was explaining to her what I do. And I said, you know, sometimes I like to go to sleep with Alex. And so like, I'll go to sleep with Alex and then, I'll wake up and be like, oh my God, I forgot, you know, I still have to go vlog. And so I'll go outside and I'll vlog and whatever. And, she was like, that's so much fun that you get to do that. And I was like, yeah, I love it, you know? So anyway, it wouldn't really be a problem today because I would go back home and maybe go back to sleep for a couple hours, although I'm weirdly like awake. And I think the reason is because I literally got 7+ hours of sleep. I slept straight through the night. I mean, I was out. I remember like Alex and he like put his hand across my chest and we were like talking about today or Saturday, and I turned like, and I was like, good night, babe, love you. And I like turned over and I was out. Like, I don't remember anything after that. And he was on his phone when I told him good night. So it is cold in Indianapolis. It is 30 degrees. Oh, but the reason why, like, it usually wouldn't matter, but today it does, is because today is Carlitos' birthday party, which is at 2 p.m. And I'm meeting Alex there because he has, like, work stuff he has to do today. And then, I got some water before I left. I was so thirsty for water. You know, and of course I want to make videos and stuff, so we've got to figure out a time to do that because we're apparently going to his birthday party at 2 o'clock. I'm sure that will probably go 2 hours, 3 hours, and then we're supposed to go back over to Carlos and Liliana's for like, to hang out and do like birthday cake or something over there. So it'll end up being this very long deal. Well, I also have my audiobook that I have to listen to. And so my plan had been to really drive around tonight, Saturday night, and listen to like 4 hours of it. That had been my plan, to listen to 4 hours on Saturday night and 4 hours on Friday night, sorry, and 4 hours on Saturday night, and then have the whole thing done. I know there are some people that are like so confused right now, like what day it is and whatever, watching this. It doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter. It's like Janis Joplin said, it's all the same effing day, man. But you know, like, I was gonna listen to 4 hours on Friday night. I was gonna get my vlog done early, and then, because that's why I laid down at like 10:30, and something like that. And I was gonna lay down from 10:30 to like 11:30, I think is when I set my alarm. And then get up, and I was gonna vlog from like 11:30 to 12:30, and then I was going to listen to my audiobook till like 4:30 in the morning. And then tonight, I was gonna listen to like another 4 hours throughout the day, and then I'd have the book done. Well, now I've screwed myself because it is the day before the live stream. We may have to move the live stream. I just don't know how I'm possibly gonna get this book done in 24 hours. I don't know, I need to talk to Mel about it today. I mean, it's not like it's a huge ordeal. There's only like 30 people that come to the live stream, which is great, you know. I mean, I've never in a million years thought I'd ever have a book club that had that, you know, 30 to 50 people that attend. Here's my coffee lip balm. There's like 2,000 people that are active, like, well, 2,000 people in the book club. And of course, not everybody reads the book every month, but there's quite a few people that read the book that just don't come to the live stream. I would do the live streams on YouTube since I figured that out. But last time we guested a bunch of people. That water tastes so good. But last time we guested a bunch of people, and I want to be able to do that again, and you cannot do that on YouTube Live anymore. Plus, I can kind of like moderate what's going on a little bit easier. The fact that it's smaller, I don't know, keeps it just a little bit nicer. So, because it doesn't go so fast, you know. So that's supposed to be on Sunday at 4 p.m. I'm gonna have to talk to her today and see what we're gonna do. I don't want to go into it just not having finished the book. I like the book. I just don't know that there's any way that I can possibly get it done. That means I have to listen to 9 hours in 24 hours. I just don't know that there's any possible way that I can get that done. So anyway, but I had kind of planned that on Saturday I wasn't sure that I was going to make videos anyway because of Carlitos' birthday party, and I just kind of wanted to be with family and stuff. So I was like, well, maybe I'll just take the day. But on Friday, because I was so busy, I had like all this sobriety stuff to do on Friday. I was like, I had like this commitment in the early evening, and then I was had to meet with a friend of mine in the afternoon. I was like, well, maybe, but I ended up making videos on Friday. So, okay, what did I do? I got up, and like I said, this vlog, did I say this already? This vlog is not going to be super long. It just can't be, you guys, today, because I have too many things. I'm on my way currently, well, I'm in the direction of, whenever I finish vlogging, I'll probably go in there and do it. I'm in the direction of going to get Carlitos' birthday present. Alex already got him something. He got him a bunch of Spider-Man stuff. Apparently when he was at Target. So Alex got off work yesterday, and he went over and picked up Sarah, and then they went to Target, and he bought Carlitos' birthday present. He was going to get it from both of us, but I was like, no, I want to get him something too. So when he was there, he FaceTimed Carlitos and like was showing him stuff, and I was like, well, that makes it real exciting for the kids. So he got him like the Spider-Man stuff. He really wants a remote control car, so I think I'm gonna get him a remote control car is what I'm gonna do. People are up and early at Denny's this morning. So yeah, that's the direction I'm going in. But anyway, what was I gonna say? So this is gonna have to be a short vlog today. I got up on Friday, and I'm trying to think of what I did. Oh, like I got up and I took the dogs out, gave PP his medication, and then I had to like leave and get out of the house because I had to go meet up with my friend. And So I went and met up with my friend for coffee. And then I had a bunch of errands to run after that. My day seemed to go so quick because I didn't leave there until like 3. And then I had to be at this recovery commitment thing at 5. And so it was like my day went super, super fast. I came home in between and I filmed. Did I do it afterwards or before? No, I did it afterwards. After, so like I'm just saying it was like an hour long. It's like an hour and a half long. And then I got home about 6:45 and I filmed a video for my Peter Mon channel, and then I filmed a video for my Peterisms channel, and I wanted to do a review video, but I didn't get to it. And not enough hours in the day. That's how I feel. I was thinking about this yesterday because I announced my book and my Peterisms channel so I'm going to start doing this like every month on my Peterisms channel. I'm going to read a book. There's going to be like, it's like kind of like a read along, not necessarily like a book club, but like a read along, self-help or motivational book. And so for November, I'm reading The 4 Agreements and by Don Miguel Ruiz. I've never read it before. I heard it was fantastic. And, but I was thinking about like how in my life I've had people like criticize me and be like, you're always starting things, you're always like new ideas, and you sometimes like don't like your ideas never, come to fruition, but a lot of times they do, A lot of my ideas that I've started, like a book club or like a vlog or whatever, have taken on a life of their own, or YouTube. When I started doing YouTube on BookTube, that was like when I was committed to like posting regularly. I never thought, I never in a million years thought that it would turn into this, where it literally became my life. I just really had no idea. And that was just 3.5 years ago. So it's crazy how, much your life can change in such a short amount of time. I posted this picture yesterday on my Instagram, and I was like, can't wait to be back. It was like from Miami, and I was like, can't wait to be back in Miami, or be back in Miami next week or something. Will be our second home, hopefully very soon or something. Oh my God, I got so many people from like my personal life that called me and was like, are you moving? Did you not tell us something? Blah, 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 whatever. Like Melissa texted me and she was like, are you moving to Miami? What's going on? I was like, Melissa, we were just at your house last night. Don't you think we would have told you? And, but we have kind of been on the down low looking at houses, and it's been very exciting. We have some areas picked. And we kind of did anyway, that we, like, areas that we were looking at. I would love to be right in South Beach, but that's just not realistic. It's just too expensive. And as much as I like that Brickell area, which is one of the areas that we looked at, I just don't know that we can afford that. Like, I just think, I just don't want to be house poor for a second home, that we're not going to be in all the time. And it's not really in an area that you could Airbnb it. You could, but I don't know that. I don't know. And that's not really what I want to do with a place anyway. Like, if I have my own second place, like, I want to have my own second place that I can go to whenever I want. But, so anyway, yeah, I don't think I really want to say a whole lot more about that right now. But we are seriously starting to look at some places. The other thing is that we would never move completely from Indianapolis. We would go back and forth. PP had a great day today. He was weird. I don't know if maybe it's the weather and now he's used to it or what, but he woke up today and what is this sandwich called? It says, is it called a Pilgrim? And it's like all turkey. The Pilgrim it is. And it's like, oh, a Thanksgiving feast in every bite, and it's cranberry sauce and turkey and at the Get-Go gas station. They should sponsor my channel, the Get-Go, for me sending people to go eat their Thanksgiving feast sandwich. See, that's like something that sounds good if I wasn't a vegetarian. But like turkey almost sounds worse to me though than a cheeseburger, in all honesty. PB did great today. I think he coughed like once the entire day, and he was super active, and he was running around in the backyard. I don't know if maybe he's just, now it's 34 degrees, that's so weird. Maybe he is just used to the weather. I think what happened was the night before I had felt bad for him because he just seemed so hungry, and he doesn't like that food. So I gave him like a huge plate of Boo and Tucker's food, and he literally ate it down in like 2 seconds. And I think it just made him sick. I think like he was like his little stomach couldn't handle it, and I thought I was doing something right, you know. He just hates that food that he eats. Like, he hates it. Like, tonight we put it down, and he wouldn't eat it. And you know what was so funny was, I stood in the kitchen finally, and I was like, PP, I was like, that food is perfectly fine. You need to eat your food, PP. And he looked up at me, and then he started eating the food. When I stood right there, he ate it. Like, ate it. And, like, not like just nibbled around it, but like he ate it. But then he did that for like 5 minutes, and then he looked up at me and he like walked away, and like half the plate was left. I was like, damn it, baby. You know, and our vet had always said, she said, I would rather have a lean dog with a heart disease than a heavy dog with heart disease. So, you know, she's always happy with his weight, but I don't want him to get thin. Like, I don't want him, you know. And PP's never been heavy, and he's never been super thin. So, but he's doing much better today. He was running around the backyard and chasing his brothers, and then I had to, like, he's so funny. At one point, like, Boo and Tucker came inside, and I was like, PP! I was like, come on, PP, let's go inside, let's have treats. And he just, like, looked at me. And so I, like, walked inside, and I was, like, doing some other stuff, and I came back out there, because, like, he just walked around the backyard, and I go, PP, I go, come on, we gotta have treats, let's go. And he just, like, stopped and looked at me, and then he kept on, like, sniffing the grass. So I let him keep on walking around. I went back out there like 3 or 4 minutes later. And I go, PP, I go, you better come on. And he just stopped and looked at me, and I go, okay, I guess no treats then. And he came like running inside. It was so funny. It's so weird, you know, like Alex said to me yesterday, he said, I'm starting to worry that maybe PP is starting to wind down. You know, that because like a lot of what we've read, I need to stay off those articles, but like, my vet always tells me that. She's like, every situation is completely different. Do not read articles about that stuff. But, you know, they'll say, oh, dogs with heart disease start to wind down, and they get real lethargic at the end, and they lose their appetite. You know, it's like, so I pick, you know, and choose symptoms that PP has and put them all together and basically say, well, it's over, you know. And then I get real worried and real stressed out. And so Alex was like, yesterday, he was like, because PP just didn't seem himself at all. And he was like, I think maybe he's starting to wind down. And Alex got real upset. And I was like, oh, I'm not ready for this. You know, I'm just not. I'm not ready for my life to change that drastically, I guess. And, I mean, we don't have any control, you know, over when pets go. I get so many, you know, comments in the comment sections from you guys. It just breaks my heart for you when you're like, oh, you know, I lost my dog today, or... And I always feel so horrible for you guys, you know? And I mean, I know it's a part of life, you know, but... So anyway, I was worried I was going to wake up and he was going to be 10 times worse than he had been on Thursday, but that wasn't the case. So he was 100% better, and I was very happy about it. And he's doing good this morning, because right before I left, I took them out, and he just leaped off the bed to go outside, and then I took him outside, and then I gave him his morning medicine and stuff, so... Anyway, I was singing that Donna song for Alex. I was like, oh, Donna. He was like, I was like, do you know that song? He was like, no. And, I'd actually downloaded it like a couple weeks ago, and so I have it like on my iPad, or what do you call it when it's in your phone? Just your iTunes? Is that what you call it? Just your iTunes? I was like, here, I'm gonna play it for you. He was not impressed, and I was standing up and I was like swaying it, and I was using it as like a microphone, and I had a girl and I wasn't there. But my favorite part of this song, what's my favorite part? Well, it's not till the very end. I didn't realize it till I was listening to the song. It's like the last 30 seconds. So then I was like, do you know Richie Valens? And he was like, didn't he die in a plane? And I go, is that all you know, about Richie Valens? And he goes, well, what do you know? And I go, didn't you see the movie? And he goes, what movie? And then I couldn't remember what the movie was called, you guys, and I had to like look it up. And I couldn't remember it, and I looked up Richie Valens movies. Well, apparently, to my idiocy, Richie Valens was like in a ton of movies, like in the 50s or 60s or whatever, you know, like Elvis was. And so it pulled up all of those movies, and I was like, what was that? And then all of a sudden it pulled up Lou Diamond Phillips' picture, and I was like, yes, Lou Diamond Phillips, that's who it is. And it was La Bamba, and I had totally forgot that it was da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. La 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 Bamba. So I said to Alex, this is truly what it is like living with me, just so you know. So for you 14 haters that dislike my video every day, this is what it would be like for you all the time. But anyway, I was like, do you know that movie? And he was like, what movie? And I was like, la 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 Bamba. I know I missed or added a few laws in there. But anyway, I hope I got one of my haters to at least smile just a little bit, because y'all are so bitter. But anyway, better! He said, of course I know that movie. I go, well, you don't know Donna. He goes, well, who's Donna? And I go, Donna was his girlfriend in the movie. He goes, he died in a plane accident. I go, I know he died in a plane accident, Alex, but he had a girlfriend, her name was Donna, and he wrote a song for her. Was she his wife or something? I can see her in the movie. Whatever happened to Lou Diamond Phillips? So Alex and I tonight, I got done with my videos. He came home. I did not start my diet today. I'm sure it's a real surprise to people, and I'm real let down over it. But anyway, I was like, well, maybe Monday. Anyway, maybe Monday in June. I mean, it's just a joke, isn't it? So anyway, I got food, not healthy food either. I got Burger King. And so anyway, and sat there and ate, and he had all this chili, and we watched both episodes, the last 2 episodes of American Horror Story. That we watched. It's so still on the, I was at the end and didn't even know it. It's so still on the lake this morning. But we watched both episodes of American Horror Story that we hadn't seen. And, yeah, it was good. I might have gotten Burger King and a Crunchwrap Supreme. A black bean Crunchwrap Supreme. And my husband might have had several bowls of chili and 2 cookies from Melissa's. Look, it was Friday night. Anyway. So, yeah, so we watched American Horror Story. I'm trying to think what the episodes were. They were good. It just doesn't seem very cohesive to me this season. I'll have to say, this is one of the seasons, American Horror Story. It's called 1984 if you're not watching it. And it's basically like modeled after like 80s horror movie, of which you know I love. And like, I was really excited about it when it started, and I'm not excited about it now. Like, it's okay. Like, I enjoy watching it, and I enjoy it. I enjoy having a show together that Alex and I watch. He really doesn't like the season, and but I'm just not that excited about it. I just don't think it's that good. I find myself talking about other stuff. Like, we were sitting there, we both love Billy Lords, I think is her name. And so he was like, he said something about her tonight. And I said, I love her. I said, she's fantastic. She was in Scream Queens too. And he was like, she just came out of nowhere. And I said, she's one of the richest women in Hollywood. And he goes, what? And I go, she's one of the richest women in Hollywood. And he said, we have this argument every time, he forgets who she is. And he goes, from doing Scream Queens in this show, no, she's not. And I go, her mother was Carrie Fisher, and her grandma was Debbie Reynolds. I don't know why I can always never remember it's Debbie Reynolds. And I said, I think she and her brother split the inheritance or something like that. Or she and Carrie Fisher's brother split the inheritance or something like that. And he was like, really? And I was like, yeah. I go, Carrie Fisher, Princess Leia from Star Wars. He's like, I know. He was so cute tonight. Alex had all the dogs around him. But then because all the dogs, Boo and Tucker were like right together. It was so cute. But because so he sits down and then he puts the blanket over his lap. And then the dogs like all sit on the blanket around him. But then he thinks that is a reason to have me go get him things. So he was like, I have some sprees in there. But he said they were sweet tarts. He was like, I have some sweet tarts in there. Can you get those for me? And I went in there. And I was like, you mean sprees? He was like, yeah, sprees. Can you give me my sprees? I was like, yeah, sure. Then he was like, can you give me another blanket? Like, is there anything else you want me to do? Because you can't get up. He's like, I have the dogs. He kept on going, I have the dogs. Oh, man. I met a girl. Oh, that's my favorite part where it goes, oh, Jana. But that's at the very end, in case you want to know. It's like literally in the last 30 seconds. We went to a friend's house the other night that's like up the street, and we came from the other way, like down here, coming this way, and I never go down there. Like, I always turn around in this church, which is like out in the middle of nowhere anyway. If you live in Indianapolis, I'm in Oak Landon right now, which I have no reason to drive to Oak Landon, right? It's kind of out in the middle of nowhere. So, but it's like the backside of Geist, which is where I grew up. So if you go down here, there's like a gas station and like strip malls and stuff like that. So we came from that direction and we were going over here, and Alex goes, said something about where, he goes, oh, I know where we are now. He was like, you know, me and so-and-so used to go to lunch over here all the time because Alex used to do a bunch of work stuff over here. And I was like, oh yeah. And all of a sudden we passed this church and I was like, that's that church that I turn around in all the time. It's at 800. The street is 800. Like 800 North or something. I can't see what it says. 800 Northwest or something. And I thought it said Boo on it. I was like, oh my God, it's Boo Street. That's so hilarious. And all of the corn is gone out here. Whenever I tell Alex though, like, I'll be like, oh yeah, I vlog out here. And he'll be like, you vlog out here? And I'm like, yeah. And he's like, you come out all the way out here and vlog. And I'm like, yeah, where do you think I vlog? Around our neighborhood? Like 200 times or something? I just got the biggest craving for a Dr. Pepper. I don't even know why. Doesn't that sound so good though right now, a Dr. Pepper? You're probably like, no. Why would you just randomly think of that? Because I do. It sounds delicious to me. I want to get a bunch of Christmas candles and Christmas stuff. I don't know when I want to put up the Christmas decorations this year. Well, really, it's just my little tree. But I might buy some other things this year and put it up too. But I don't want the house to be too cluttered. Although the other day I said to Alex, did he bring it up or did I bring it up? Because we were talking about getting new sheets. I love that comforter. I love so much. We might need to get like another one in a different color or something, so that when we clean them, we can just put the new one on. But he said, oh, I was thinking about getting some new sheets, and I said, do you want to get another pair of sheets? Because I really liked that brand of jersey sheets I got. And that's what I meant. And he was like, yeah, do you want to get flannel? And I go, flannel? And he was like, I haven't had flannel sheets in forever, but I like flannel looking sheets that are jersey, you know? And he was like, yeah, you know, and because I had said to him, I said to him like a month or two ago, like, could we get some flannel sheets? So I like how they look, and I think they're cute and masculine and stuff. And he was like, yeah, he was like, we can get some flannel sheets. And then the other day, he like mentioned it. He was like, are we going to get the flannel sheets? And I was like, well, we can. I can't believe that, like, I don't know what just made me think of this, that like every day of my dad's life, like he's been up for like 2 hours already. Like I know if I went to my dad's house right now, like he would have like read the newspaper, had like his first 2 cups of coffee for the day, and be like completely showered and dressed for the day, even on a Saturday. My dad was never like the type that, like, when he went into work, my dad is a super sharp dresser. And when I was a kid, he like went to Chicago and he got his suits from this store called Mark Shale in Chicago. And my dad always wore the coolest suits. Like, in the winter, I just remember he had the most beautiful suits, and they were like, you know, all these tweeds and, you know, and then he would have just really pretty ties, and he always just looked like a college professor, you know, at Yale or something like that. And he wears little round rim glasses and stuff. And so anyway, my dad, my dad loves clothes, and he's just, but like those kind of clothes, you know, he's just a sharp dresser. But you know how like some people, like I can remember like when I was talking to Caroline, my cousin Caroline, about her dad, my Uncle Dave, and she would say, you know, Dad every day, no matter what, gets up and he puts on like khakis and like a button-down collared shirt, you know? Well, that is not my dad. That is not my dad. My dad is very much, like he gets up every day and takes a shower. He like gets up, reads the paper. My dad reads like every day, like the Wall Street Journal, the New York Times, every single day. And drinks his coffee, and then probably reads some other book. My dad's always reading some obscure book about something that you would never, he goes to the bookstore and he buys like, he only reads nonfiction, and he buys like, you know, 5 or 10 books on topics that you have never heard of before about things. Just, I mean, he just reads everything random. So when we go and see him, he's always telling us about, you know, something completely random about like this religious organization, you know, in this island that nobody's ever heard of. Not religious organization, but religious group or whatever, you know, or it'll be about a certain way to like, you know, make tea, or some animal that's extinct or something. He's always reading about all these like just really random things. But anyway, but like on the weekends, my dad would get up, you know, and he would, showered and ready, but he would always just like in the summer, you know, put on like shorts and a t-shirt. My dad always, so this idea of me collecting t-shirts wherever I go, my dad did it. And it wasn't so much like a thing that he collected. I wouldn't say that he collected them. He just always bought t-shirts wherever he went. So like, you know, my entire childhood was filled with my dad. My dad has worn Patagonia since I can remember. And he always would wear these like grayish or khaki Patagonia shorts that were kind of like mid-thigh, but they were like sailor shorts, because, you know, my dad always was on a boat, and because he had his own sailboat, and then he just was always on sailboats. He did like a lot of like medical missionary work on sailboats and stuff like that. So then he would have a t-shirt on top of it that would say like Honduras, or, you know, St. Thomas or something, you know. He had all these t-shirts, mostly from like the Caribbean, that he would wear, and that he would get grabbed in the airport or whatever, or some bar that, you know, like restaurant, like in these places. My dad was like such a cool guy. He, and you know, he was single for a long time too, and he really enjoyed, I think, being single. And I mean, he enjoys being with my stepmom, but I think the time that he was single, he enjoyed it, because every winter, it would scare my mom to death. This was after they were separated, but he would go to Banff, Alberta, Canada. I think that's correct. And he would hike in the Canadian Rockies by himself. I have several t-shirts from when I was a kid that said Banff on them, and he did too. But he would hike there when he was a kid, or when I was a kid, by himself. He would go up there for like 2 or 3 weeks. He actually dated this girl for a while that he met up there, and she was from Australia. She was from New Zealand, and she was like one of the editors on the movie The Man from Snowy River. But anyway, she was like a world traveler. That was before like people just had like a backpack and traveled, I remember. He was so excited. She came to like visit. She stayed for an extended period of time, and we like watched that movie, which I don't think I ever really understood. But anyway, and at the very end, her name was in the credits. But my dad, that was when he did a lot of traveling like that. That's when he did like a lot of the medical work, like in Honduras and places like that. My mom would be like, I can't believe that he's taking all these risks. And that was when he went to the US Open. So, okay. My dad, so I come from a big tennis family. Like, my family loves tennis. So my dad went to the US Open one year, but he wanted to get like courtside. So he made up these, he bought a huge, my dad loves cameras, he always has. And so he had just bought this brand new Nikon camera, I think it was. And he had this like huge, what do you call it? Like neck thing. It was like this big, you know? And it was like one of these, it was like, this is in the 70s. This was like 78, right? And it was like, it looked like a camera strap, but that was like woven, like hippie woven, you know what I mean? It was very artsy and colorful. And he like grew a beard out so that he looked like just some like random photographer that was like, you know, and then he had these like jean cutoff shorts on, and like he has pictures of himself at his house, like, okay, and like these huge tube socks pulled up, and then he had on like just some t-shirt that said like St. Thomas or something on it, and he went with this huge camera, and he literally, I mean, this is back in the day, like today you couldn't do it probably, you know, but that he made this like some, I can't, like Sports Illustrated or something like that, he made a press pass and laminated it. He laminated it and everything, and he went there and got courtside, and literally got pictures of these guys courtside, and at the U.S. Open in New York City, and has pictures of him, like, you know, down on one, like, you know, knee like this, like taking pictures and stuff that people took of him. That's so funny that my dad did that. My dad is somebody that is like totally unafraid. Like he is unafraid, and really, and we talk a lot about this word unbothered. Like he is really unbothered. Like it's funny how it has changed for him though over time. Like when I was younger, you know, like he would get really incensed is not really the word, but like, you know, if you told him something, he would get kind of heated about it. Not really heated, but like, okay, this isn't okay, and blah, blah, blah. He just isn't like that today. Like, if you tell him something, you know, he's just like, he just kind of laughs, you know, he's like, okay, you know, like, he just doesn't give things any time or energy that he doesn't care about. If that makes sense. Like, he loves his dog, he loves my stepmom, he loves me, he loves Alex, he loves the house, he loves being on the water, he loves his work. Other than that, he loves to read, he loves to travel. Other than that, he doesn't pay it a whole lot of attention. He just doesn't, you know? My jaw is hurting, I don't know why. Boo Radley is always the last dog to wake up, usually. Well, Pee-Pee has been the last couple days, but Boo Radley usually is. And Tucker's always the first one to wake up. But tonight, Boo Radley, I had to wake him up to take him outside. And Boo Radley was crying while he was dreaming. He was like, you know, running in his sleep, and he was like, Well, it was so cute. What do you think dogs dream of? You think they just dream of like running outside or chasing birds or eating snacks? Or when you think about the fact that like our dogs or cats or pets or whatever, they know us, and they kind of recognize probably some people on the street or friends that, or family that we have that come by, and that's the limitation of their world, you know? Although, like, as much as dogs seem to understand, I really think they understand a lot more than we give them credit for. I also think that dogs watch TV. I don't think they understand it, but I think they actually can see images. Like, I was reading something, and it said a long time ago, and it said that dogs can't see, like, the images that are on a TV. And then I read something recently. Is that a new strip mall? What is that? What is that? Oh, I've got to go see what this is. Is this a Tide Cleaners drive-thru? What is that? I want to go there. I might have to try that for my review channel. But, then I read something recently, and it said that dogs do know what is, this is like a brand new thing. It's kind of back here, kind of hard to get to though, that they do know, like when they're watching TV, what they're seeing. Which is funny because like our dogs watch TV. Boo Radley has no clue what's on that TV. But PP kind of watches it and he kind of goes like this and watches it, you know? Tide cleaners. I don't get it. Drive-through entrance. Do you think it's like you drop your clothes off? It's gotta be. I'm gonna look it up because I wanna know. I wanna know if she really loves me. Oh my God, they're everywhere. Dry cleaning and laundry. Wash and fold. Tide Cleaners planning to open 5 indie area franchises. Why can't I get to the article? I don't want to leave a comment. It says you must be logged in to leave a comment. I don't care to be I don't care. I just want to read the article. What's the problem? Tide Cleaners provides personalized washing, folding, dry cleaning, and alterations. The future of laundry care, brought to you by America's #1 trusted brand. What are people going back to all of that? Like, oh, there's a little dog park in there. How cute is that by that apartment complex? But I will tell you what's funny is, it seems like it was so long ago that we didn't have a washer and dryer. Do you remember that period of time that we didn't have a washer and dryer? And we had to go to the laundromat, which I quite frankly loved going to the laundromat. Nowadays, it seems like, well, I don't right now because our washer and dryer is so fast that like, I put a load of wash in and then I get it done and then that's it. But it seems like I do a load of wash like every single day. I do something. Whether it's towels and linens. I need to do towels. We have so many towels though. We don't have so many towels to clean. We have so many towels, period. So like we clean them and then we put them, you know, away. And then we have more towels that we bring out because we always buy towels. It seems like whenever there's like a sale like on nice towels, like, well, Alex is good about that, about buying towels. I usually buy like the bedding and he buys towels. So yeah. But I used to like always, like once we got the washer and dryer, I would always have something in the washer or the dryer and, you know, be like running it. I don't so much. I wonder if that place is open, that Rise place. It's interesting to me that a lot of these like brunch places are not open at 5 till 7 on Saturday morning. I'm really kind of surprised by that. I think Patachou's open by now. It's at the end and I didn't know it. I said this was going to be short, and look, it ended up being long. I'm awake now. I don't think that I'm going to be able to go back to bed, which is fine, because then I can just make my videos for the day that I want to make and stuff. But, part of the problem is I don't know what I'm going to make my videos about just yet. Well, I could drive around and listen to my audiobook. God knows I need to do that, so. What is with all this crazy construction? Anyway, I think I'm gonna get off here now and just make this a little bit shorter, and I'll try to vlog longer tomorrow, you guys. Oh my God, this huge detour. What does it say? I'm gonna go this way because I don't know how to go that way around. But anyway, I'm gonna get off here now and listen to, I guess, my audiobook. I wanna get a Dr. Pepper. And I've gotta go, oh, I've gotta buy Carlitos' birthday present. I still have to go do that. So anyway, I'm gonna go to the Meijer and do that. I hope you guys are having an amazing Saturday, unless you have other plans. But like I always say, do not have other plans. Enjoy your day. Make the most of it. Do something today. Are you kidding me? This road is closed too. I feel like I'm stuck in a Twilight Zone. Anyway, do something today. Road closed to through traffic. Do something today that that you're gonna look back on and be proud of, or happy that you did. You're exchanging a day of your life for it. Life is not a dress rehearsal. And make sure that you look in yourself in the mirror. Back up. If nobody else has told you this today, I love you. Make sure that you look at yourself in the mirror every single day and you say to yourself, I love you, you are valuable, you are important. Important. And you allow yourself to know your own self-value and your own self-worth. You gotta start telling ourselves that on a daily basis. And most importantly, make sure that you pass it on to somebody else and let them know that they are important to you. Live your life with compassion, love, and kindness. And I love you guys, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye. Love ya!